The Tragedy of Julius Caesar. Actus primus, scona prima. Enter Flavius, Murellus, and certain commoners o'er the stage. Flavius, hence, home you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk. Vipon a laboring day, without the scene. Of your profession, speak, what trade art thou? Car, why sir, a carpenter. Mur, where's thy leather apron, and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you? Cobble, truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman I am. But as you would say, a cobbler. Mur, but what trade art thou? Answer me directly. Cob, a trade, sir, that I hope I may VSC with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls. Fla, what trade thou naughty gnaw? What trade? Cobble, nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me, yet. If you be out, sir, I can mend you. Mur, what mean'st thou by that? Mend me the saucy fellow. Cob, why, sir, cobble you. Flaw, thou art a cobbler, art thou? Cob, truly, sir, all that I lay you by is with thee all. I meddle with no tradesman's matters nor women's matters. But withal I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recower them. As proper men as you are trod vipon neats leather, hog on vipon my handiwork. Flaw, but wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets? Cob, truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar, and to reice in his triumph. Mur, wherefore reice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To grace in captiu bonds his chariot wheels. You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. O you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompey many a time and oft? How you climb 500 VP to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops. Your infants in your arms, and their haw sate the long day, with patient expectation, to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, how you not made in Venius all shout, that Tiber trembled underneath her banks, to hear the replication of your sounds, made in her concaw shores. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now cull out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way? That comes in triumph our Pompey's blood. Be gone! Run to your houses, fall vipon your knees. Pray to the gods to intermit the plague. That needs must light on this ingratitude. Fla, go, good countrymen, and for this fault. Assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks, and weep your tears. Into the channel, till the lowest stream. Do kiss the most exalted shores of all. Exeunt all the commoners. See where their basest metal be not move 500. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I disrobe the images. If you do find them decked with ceremonies. Mur, may we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal. Flaw, it is no matter, let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies, isle about. And drew you away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you pursue them thick. These growing feathers, plucked from Caesar's wing, will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men, and keep these all in servile fearfulness? Exeunt. Enter Caesar, Antony for the course, Calphurnia, Portia, Decius. Cicero. Brutus, Cassius, Casca, a soothsayer, after them Murellus and Flavius. Keys, Calphurnia. Casque, peace ho, Caesar speaks. Keys, Calphurnia. Calp, hear my lord. Keys, stand you directly in Antonio's way. When he doth run his course, Antonio. Ant, Caesar, my lord. Keys, forget not in your speed Antonio. To touch Calphurnia, for our elders say, the baron touched in this holy chase. Shake off their sterile curse. And I shall remember. When Caesar says, do this, it is perform 500. Keys, set on and lo no ceremony out. Sooth, Caesar. Keys who calls? Cask bid Uri noise be still, peace yet again. Keys, who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music. Cry Caesar, speak, Caesar is turn 500 to hear. Sooth, beware the Ides of March. Keys, what man is that? Br, a soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March. Keys, set him before me, let me see his face. Cassie, fellow come from the throng, look vipon Caesar. Keys, what say'st thou to me now, speak once again. Sooth, beware the Ides of March. Keys, he is a dreamer, let versus lo him, pass. Senate. Exeunt Manet Brute and Cass. Cassie, will you go see the order of the course? Brute, not I. Cassie, I pray you do. Brute, I am not gamesome, I do lackey some part. Of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder Cassius your desires. I'll low you. Cassie, Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I haw not from your eyes that gentleness. In show of low, as I was wont to haw. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand. Our your friend that lows you. Brew Cassius. Be not to see you 500, if I haw veil 500 my look. I turn the trouble of my countenance. Merely vipon myself, vexed I am. Of late, with passions of some difference. Conceptions, onely proper to myself. Which do you some soil, perhaps, to my behoyers. But let not therefore, my good friends, be grew 500. Among which number Cassius be you one. Nor construe any further my neglect. Then that poor Brutus with himself at war. Forgets the shows of low to other men. Cassie, then Brutus, I how much mistook your passion. By means whereof, this breast of mine hath buried. Thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face? Brutus, no Cassius. For the eye sees not itself, but by reflection. By some other things. Cassius, tes eost. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you ha no such mirrors, as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I ha heard, where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning vie underneath this age's yoke. Ha wish 500, that noble Brutus had his eyes. Brew, into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would ha me seek into myself. For that which is not in me. Cass, therefore good Brutus, be prepare 500 to hear. And since you know, you cannot see yourself, so well as by reflection, I your glass will modestly discour to yourself that of yourself, which you yet know not of. And be not eolus on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laughter, or 999 VSC. To stale with ordinary oaths my low. To Uri new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men, and hug them hard. And after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting. To all the rout, then hold me dangerous. Flourish and shout. Brew, what means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king. Cassie, I do fear it. Then must I think you would not ha it so. Brew, I would not Cassius, yet I allow him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye, and death i'th other. And I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I allow the name of honor, more than I fear death. Cassie, I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward for. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, as lieu to be. in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both ha-fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold, as well as he. For once, vipon a raw and gusty day. The troubled Tiber, chafing with her shores. Caesar said to me, darst thou Cassius now leap in with me into this angry flood, and swim to yonder point, vipon the word. Accoutred as I was, I plunged in, and bade him follow, so indeed he did. The torrent roared 500, and we 999 buffet it, with lusty sinews, throwing it aside, and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrew the point propose 500. Caesar cried, help me Cassius, or I sink. Chapter 1. As Aeneas, our great ancestor, 999 from the flames of Troy, vipon his shoulder. The old Anchises bear, so, from the was of Tiber. Chapter 999. I the tiered Caesar, and this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body. If Caesar carelessly, but not on him. He had a foer when he was in Spain. And when the fit was on him, I 999 mark. How he 999 shake. 'Tis true, this god 999 shake. His coward lips 999 from their color fly. And that same eye, whose bend doth awe the world. 999 loose his luster. I 999 hear him groan. Chapter 1. And that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him, and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Titinius. As a sick girl, ye gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world, and bear the pommy alone. Shout, flourish. Brew, another general shout. I do believe you, that these applauses are for some new honors, that are heap 500 on Caesar. Cassie, why man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs, and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable gras. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are vienderlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth a swell. Weigh them, it is as hoey, conneer with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once. Vipon, what meat doth this our Caesar feed? That he is grown so great, age thou art shammed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age, since the great flood? But it was fam 500, with more than with one man. When could they say, till now, that talk 500 of Rome? That her wide walks encompassed but one man. Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I ha heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once, that would ha brook 500. Eternal deal to keep his state in Rome. As easily as a king. Brew, that you do allow me, I am nothing eeless. What you would work me to, I ha some I'm. How I ha thought of this, and of these times, I shall recount hereafter, for this present. I would not so, with Lao I might entreat you. Be any further move 500, what you ha said. I will consider, what you ha to say. I will with patience hear, and find a time. Both meet to hear, and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew vipon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome. Under these hard conditions, as this time is like to lay vipon versus. Cassie, I am glad that my weak words ha struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus. Enter Caesar and his train. Brew, the games are done, and Caesar is returning. Cassie, as they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve. And he will after his sower fashion tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today. Brew, I will do so, but look you Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow. And all the rest look like a chid in train. Calphurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes, as we ha seen him in the Capitol, being crossed in conference by some senators. Casca will tell Versus what the matter is. Sees Antonio. Ant Caesar. Keys let me ha men about me, that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much, such men are dangerous. Ant, fear him not Caesar, he's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman, and well genuine. Keys would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should awe it. So soon as that spare Cassius, he reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men, he allows no plays. As thou dost Antony, he hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort, as if he mock 500 himself, and scorn 500 his spirit. That could be move 500 to smile at anything. Such men as he, be newer at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves. And therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be fear 500. Then what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf. And tell me truly, what thou think'st ye of him. Senate. Exeunt, Caesar and his train. Cask, you pull 500 me by the cloak, would you speak with me? Brew, I Casca, tell Versus what hath chank 500 today. That Caesar looks so sad. Cask, why you were with him were you not? Brew, I should not then ask Casca what had chank 500. Cask, why there was a crown offer 500 him, and being offer 500 him, he put it by with the backy of his hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting. Brew, what was the second noise for? Cask, why for that too? Cassie, they shouted thrice, what was the last cry for? Cask, why for that too? Brew, was the crown offer 500 him thrice? Cask, I marry wast, and he put it by thrice Uri. Time gentler than other, and at Uri putting by mine. Honest neighbors shouted. Cassie, who offer 500 him the crown? Cask, why Antony? Brew, tell Versus the manner of it, gentle Casca. Casca, I can as well be hang 500 as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery, I 999 not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of these coronets, and as I told you he put it by once, but for all that to my thinking he would fain ha had it. Then he offered it to him again, then he put it by again, but to my thinking he was very loath to lay his fingers off it, and then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused 500 it, the rabblement houted and clapped 500 their chopped hands, and threw VPPE their sweaty nightcaps and VT-turd such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar refused 500 the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swoonded and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and resighing the bad air. Cassie, but soft I pray you, what 999 Caesar swound. Cask, he fell down in the marketplace, and foam 500. At mouth and was speechless. Brute, 'tis very like he hath the falling sickness. Cassie, no Caesar hath it not, but you and I. And honest Casca, we ha the falling sickness. Cask, I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the Tagrag people 999 not clap him, and hiss him, according as he please 500, and displeas 500 them, as they vsc to do the players in the theatre, I am no true man. Brute, what said he when he came vientio himself, Cask, Mary, before he fell down, when he pursued 500 the common herd was glad he refused 500 the crown, he plucked me ope his doublet, and offer 500 them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation, if I would not ha taken him at a word, I might go to hell among the rogues, and so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done, or said anything amiss, he desire 500 their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood, cried, Alas, good soul, and forego him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed 500 their mothers, they would ha' done no less. Brute, and after that he came thus sad away. Casque, I. Cassie, 999 Cicero say anything. Casque, I he spoke Greek. Cassie, to what effect, Casque? Nay, and I tell you that I'll ne'er look you at face again. But those that vn dursted him, smill 500 at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Murillus and Flavius for pulling scarfs off Caesar's images are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet if I could remember it. Cassie, will you souper with me tonight, Casca? Casque, no, I am promised 500 forth. Cassie, will you dine with me tomorrow? Casque, I if I be you, and your mind hold and your dinner worth the eating. Cassie, good, I will expect you. Casque, do so, farewell both. Enter. Brute, what a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school. Cassie, so is he now in execution. Of any bold or noble enterprise. How ewer he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which geus men stomachi to digest his words with better appetite. Brute, and so it is. For this time I will loe you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you, or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you. Cassie, I will do so, till then think of the world. Exit Brutus. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought. From that it is dispose 500, therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ewer with their likes. For who so firm, that cannot be seduct 500. Caesar doth bear me hard, but he lows Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night in all hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from all citizens. Writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure. For we will shake him, or worse days endure. Enter. Thunder and lightning, enter Casca and Cicero. Chapter 199. Good you and Casca, brought you Caesar home. Why are you breathless, and why stare you so? Casque, are not you move 500, when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing vn firm, O Cicero? I ha seen tempests when the scolding winds ha rew 500 the naughty oaks, and I ha seen ambitious ocean swell, and rage and foam, to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But newer till tonight, newer till now. Chapter 999. I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a seawell strife in Hoenn, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction. Chapter 199. Why, saw you anything more wonderful? Casque, a common slaw, you know him well by sight, held VP his left hand, which 999 flame and burn like 20 torches in 500, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remain 500 vn scorched. Besides, I ha not since put VP my sword against the Capitol, I met a lion, who glas 500 vpon me, and went surly by, without annoying me, and there were drawn vpon a heap, 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men, all in fire, walk VP and down the streets. And yesterday, the bird of night 999 sit ewen at no one day, vpon the marketplace, howling and shrieking, when these prodigies do so connuently meet, let not men say. These are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe you, they are portentous things. VNTO the climate, that they point vpon. Chapter 199. Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Comes Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow. Casque he doth, for he 999 bid Antonio send word to you, he would be there tomorrow. Chapter 199. Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in. Casque, farewell Cicero. Exit Cicero. Enter Cassius. Cassie, who's there? Casque, a Romaine. Cassie, Casca by your voice. Casque, your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this? Cassie, a very pleasing night to honest men. Casque, who yer knew the Hoans menace so. Cassie, those that ha known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I ha walk 500 about the streets, submitting me VNTO the perilous night. And thus vi embraced, Casca, as you see. Ha bar 500 my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blew lightning, seem 500 to open. The breast of Hoan, I 999 present myself. Ewan in the ime, and very flash of it. Casque, but wherefore 999, you so much tempt the Hoans? It is the part of men, to fear and tremble. When the most mighty gods, by token send such dreadful heralds, to astonish viz. Cassie, you are dull Casca. And those sparks of life, that should be in a Roman. You do want, or else you see not. You look pale and gaze, and put on fear. And cast yourself in wonder, to see the strange impatience of the Hoans. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires, why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts, from quality and kind? Why old men, fools, and children calculate? Why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures, and preformed faculties, to monstrous quality? Why you shall find that Hoan hath in fuss 500 them with these spirits, to make them instruments of fear and warning. VNTO some monstrous state. Now could I Casca name to thee a man, most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graws and roars, as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than thyself, or me, in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful, as these strange eruptions are. Casque, 'tis Caesar that you mean. Is it not Cassius? Cassie, let it be who it is, for Romans now ha thews and limbs like to their ancestors. But woe the while, our fathers' minds are dead, and we are gowan 500 with our mother's spirits. Our yoke and sufferance show versus womanish. Casque, indeed they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land. In Uri place, saw here in Italy. Cassie, I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron, can be retained to you to the strength of spirit. But life being wary of these worldly bars, newer lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure. Thunder still. Casque, so can I. So Uri bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity. Cassie, and why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire. Begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal, when it serus? For the base matter, to illuminate. So vile a thing as Caesar, but oh grief! Where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, then I know my answer must be made, but I am armed 500. And dangers are to me indifferent. Casque, you speak to Casca, and to such a man. That is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs. And I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest. Cassie, there's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I ha move 500 already. Some certain of the noblest, minded Romans, to vi undergo with me an enterprise of honorable dangerous consequence. And I do know by this, they stay for me in Pompey's porch, for now this fearful night. There is no stirra, or walking in the streets. And the complexion of the element is fors, like the work we ha in hand. Most bloody, fiery, and most terrible. Enter Cinna. Casca, stand close a while, for here comes one in. Haste. Cassie, T. Cinna, I don't know him by his gait. He is a friend, Cinna, where haste you so? Cinna, to find out you, who's that Metellus? Cimber. Cassie, no, it is Casca, one incorporate. To our attempts, am I not stay 500 for Cinna? Cinna, I am glad on't. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of these ha seen strange sights. Cassie, am I not stay 500 for, tell me. Cinna, yes you are, O Cassius. If you could but win the noble Brutus. To our parties. Cassie, be you content, good Cinna, take this paper. And look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window, set this VP with wax. Vipon old Brutus statue, all this done. Repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find V's. Is Decius Brutus, and Trebonius there? Cinna, all but Metellus Cimber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie, and so bestow these papers, as you bade me. Cassie, that done, repair to Pompey's theatre. Exit Cinna. Come Casca, you and I will yet, ere day, see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire. Vipon the next encounter, yields him ours. Casque, oh he sits high in all the people's hearts. And that which would appear offense in V's, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness. Cassie, him and his worth and our great need of him. You ha right well conceited, let versus go. For it is after 1499 night, and ere day. We will awake him, and be sure of him. Exeunt. Actus secundus. Enter Brutus in his orchard. Brute, what Lucius ho? I cannot, by the progress of the stars. Do you guess how near today, Lucius, I say? I would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When Lucius, when, awake I say, what Lucius? Enter Lucius. Luke, call 500 you, my lord. Brute, get me a tapper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here. Luke, I will, my lord. Enter. Brute, it must be by his death, and for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him. But for the general, he would be crowned 500. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder. And that craw's wary walking, crown him that. And then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. Abuse of greatness is when it designs remorse from power, and to speak truth of Caesar. I ha not known, when his affections sway 500. More than his reason, but 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber VP ward turns his face. But when he once attains the VP most round, he then VNTO, the ladder turns his backy, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees, by which he 999 ascend, so Caesar may. Then least he may preuent, and since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatch 500, would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell. Enter Lucius. Luke, the taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus seal 500 VP, and I am sure it 999 not lie there when I went to bed. Use him the letter. Brute, get you to bed again, it is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the 1st of March? Luke, I know not, sir. Brute, look in the calendar and bring me word. Luke, I will, sir. Enter. Brute, the exhalations, whizzing in the air. You so much light, that I may read by them. Opens the letter and reads. Brutus, thou sleep'st, awake and see thyself. Shall roam and see speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleep'st, awake. Such instigations ha been often dropped. Where I ha took them VP. Shall roam and see thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand viender one man's what Rome? My ancestors 999 from the streets of Rome. The Tarquin drew, when he was called 500 a king. Speak, strike, redress, am I entreated? To speak and strike, O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. Enter Lucius. Luke, sir, March is wasted 15 days. Knock within. Brute, 'tis good, go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first 999, wet me against Caesar. I ha not slipped between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of a man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection. Enter Lucius. Luke, sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door. Who doth desire to see you? Brute, is he alone? Luke, no, sir, there are moe with him. Brute, do you know them? Luke, no, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks. That by no means I may discover them by any mark of fort. Brute, let 'em enter. They are the faction, O conspiracy. Sham'st thou to show thy dangerous brow by night? When Yules are most free, O then by day. Where wilt thou find a coward dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. For if thou path thy natty semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from preuntion. Enter the conspirators, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Cinna, Metellus, and Trebonius. Cass, I think we are too bold vpon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus, do we trouble you? Brute, I ha been VP this houre, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you? Cass, yes, Uri man of them, and no man here but honors you, and Uri one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which Uri noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius. Brute, he is welcome hither. Cass, this Decius Brutus. Brute, he is welcome too. Cass, this Casca, this Cinna, and this Metellus. Cimber. Brute, they are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night? Cass, shall I entreat a word? They whisper. Decius, here lies the east, doth not the day break? Here. Cask, no. Sin, oh pardon, sir, it doth, and yon grey lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day. Cask, you shall confess that you are both to see you 500. Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, VP higher toward the north. He first presents his fire, and the high east stands as the Capitol, directly here. Brew you me your hands all hour, one by one. Cass, and let these swear our resolution. Brute, no, not an oath, if not the face of men. The sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be modius weak, break off betimes, and Uri man hence, to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery, but if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause? To prick verses to redress, what other bond? Then secret Romans, that ha spoke the word, and will not palter, and what other oath? Then honesty to honesty in gag 500. That this shall be, or we will fall for it. Swear priests and cowards, and men cautelous, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls, that welcome wrongs, viento bad causes swear. Such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the hue and virtue of our enterprise, nor in suppressiu metal of our spirits. To think that or our cause or our performance 999 need an oath, when Uri drop of blood, that Uri Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a sural bastardy. If he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him, Cass, but what of Cicero, shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with versus. Cask, let V's not low him out. Sin, no, by no means. Meadle, oh let versus ha him for his siluar hairs. We'll purchase versus, a good opinion, and buy men's voices, to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment roll 500 our hands. Our youths and wilderness shall no wit appear, but all be buried in his grody. Brew, oh name him not, let V's not break with him, for he will newer follow anything that other men begin. Cass, then low him out. Cask, indeed he is not fit. Decius, shall no man else be tucked but only Caesar. Cass, Decius well vrg 500, I think it is not meet. Mark Antony, so well below 500 of Caesar. Should outlieu Caesar, we shall find of him a shrew 500 contraeur, and you know his means. If he improw them, may well stretch so far as to annoy versus all, which to preuent. Let Antony and Caesar fall together. Brew, our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off, and then hacky the limbs, like wrath in death, and a night afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrificers, but not butchers Caius. We all stand VP against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of men, there is no blood. Oh that we then could come by Caesar's spirit, and not dismember Caesar, but alas, Caesar must bleed for it, and gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carew him, as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir a VP their cerements to an acti of rage, and after seem to chide 'em, this shall make our purpose necessary, and not injurious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called 500 perjurers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm, when Caesar's head is off. Cass, yet I fear him, for in the engrafted low he bears to Caesar. Brew, alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he low Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is genuine to sports, to wilderness, and much company. Treb, there is no fear in him, let him not die, for he will liu, and laugh at this hereafter. Clock strikes. Brew, peace, count the clock. Cass, the clock hath stricken 3. Treb, 'tis time to part. Cass, but it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he held once of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be, these apparent prodigies, the vena custom, 500 terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers, may hold him from the Capitol today. Decius, nor fear that, if he be so resolute 500. I can o'ersway him, for he lows to hear that unicorns may be betray 500 with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, Leon with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him, he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can gee you his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the Capitol. Cass, nay, we will all of these be there to fetch him. Brew by the 8 hour, is that the VT termost? Sin be that the VT termost, and fail not then. Met, Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you ha thought of him. Brew, now good Metellus go along by him. He lows me well, and I ha gee in him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him. Cass, the morning comes vipons. We 50 lo you Brutus. And friends disperse your cellus, but all remember what you ha said, and show your cellus true Romans. Brew, good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do. With V enter 500 spirits, and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you Uri one. Exeunt. Manet Brutus. Boy Lucius, fast asleep, it is no matter. Enioi the hony hoy do of slumber. Thou hast no figures, nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleep'st so sound. Enter Portia. Poor Brutus my lord. Brew Portia, what mean you, wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health, thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning. Poor, nor for yours neither, Yaha being gently Brutus. Stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper, you sedanely arose, and walk 500 about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I ask 500 you what the matter was, you star 500 vpon me, with being gentle looks. I vrg 500 you further, then you scratch 500 your head. And two, impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answer 500 not, but with an angry wafter of your hand. Goss seen for me to low you, so I 999. Fearing to strengthen that impatience, which seem 500 too much enkindled, and withal, hoping it was but an effective humor, which sometime hath his hour with youery man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much vpon your shape, as it hath much preul 500 on your condition? I should not know you Brutus, dear my lord. Make me acquainted with your cause of grief. Brew, I am not well in health, and that is all. Poor Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it. Brew, why so I do, good Portia go to bed. Poor is Brutus sick, and is it physical to walk v embraced, and suck vp the humors of the dank morning? What is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the rheumy and vn purged air? To add vnto his sickness, no my Brutus, you ha some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and vpon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of vow, in that great vow, which 999 incorporate, and make versus one, that you vn fold to me, yourself, your half. Why you are hoey, and what men tonight ha had resort to you, for here ha been some 6 or 7, who 999 hide their faces. Ewan from darkness. Brew, kneel not gentle Portia. Poor, I should not need, if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me Brutus, is it accepted, I should know no secrets that appertain to you, am I yourself, but as it were in sort, or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes, dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, if it be no more. Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife. Bru, you are my true and honorable wife. As dear to me, as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart. Poor, if this were true, then should I know the secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you, I am no stronger than my sex? Being so father 500, and so husbanded. Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I ha made strong proof of my constancy, geewing myself a voluntary wound. Here in the thigh, can I bear that with patience? And not my husband's secrets. Bru, O ye gods! Render me worthy of this noble wife. Knock! Hark, hark, one knocks, Portia go in a while. And by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements, I will construe to thee. All the charactery of my sad brows. Lo me with hast. Exit Portia. Enter Lucius and Ligarius. Lucius, who's that knocks? Luke, here is a sick man that would speak with you. Bru, Caius Ligarius, that Metellus spake of. Boy, stand aside, Caius Ligarius, how? Kai, vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue. Bru, oh what a time how you chose out Caius. To wear a kerchief, would you were not sick? Kai, I am not sick, if Brutus ha in hand. Any exploit worthy the name of honor. Bru, such an exploit ha I in hand Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it? Kai, by all the gods that Romans bow before. I here discard my sickness, soul of Rome. Bra son, dear you 500 from honorable loins. Thou like an exorcist, hast near 500 VP. My mortified spirit, now bid me run. And I will strew you with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them, what's to do? Bru, a piece of work. That will make sick men whole. Kai, but are not some whole, that we must make sick. Bru, that must we also, what it is my Caius. I shall be enfold to thee, as we are going. To whom it must be done. Kai, set on your foot. And with a heart new for 500, I follow you. To do I know not what, but it sufficeth. That Brutus leads me on. Thunder! Bru, follow me then. Exeunt. Thunder and lightning. Enter a Julius Caesar in his nightgown. Caesar, nor Hohen nor earth. Ha been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calphurnia, in her sleep cried out. Help ho, they murder Caesar, who's within. Enter a Saruant. Sir, my lord. Keys, go bid the priests do present sacrifice. And bring me their opinions of success. Sir, I will my lord. Exit. Enter Calphurnia. Cal, what mean you, Caesar, think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today. Keys, Caesar shall forth, the things that threaten 500 me. Near look 500 but on my baccy, when they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished. Calp, Caesar, I newer stood on ceremonies. Yet now they fright me, there is one within. Besides the things that we ha heard and seen. Recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets. And Graz ha yon 500, and yielded VP their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fight vpon the clouds. In ranks and squadrons, and right form of war. Which drizzle 500 blood, vpon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses do neigh, and dying men 999 groan. And ghosts 999 shriek and squeal about the streets. O Caesar, these things are beyond all VSC. And I do fear them. Keys, what can be audited? Whose end is purpose 500 by the mighty gods. Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar. Calp, when beggars die there are no comets seen. The hounds themselves blaze forth the death of princes. Keys cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant newer taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet ha heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, unnecessary, will come when it will come. Enter a Saruant. What say the augurers? Sir, they would not ha you to stir a forth today, plucking the entrails of an offering forth. They could not find a heart within the beast. Keys the gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not, danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We hear too, Leon litter 500 in one day. And I the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall go forth. Calp, alas my lord. Your wisdom is consume 500 in confidence. Do not go forth today, call it my fear. That keeps you in the house, and not your own. We 50 send Mark Antony to the Senate house. And he shall say, you are not well today. Let me vipon my knee, priule in this. Keys Mark Antony shall say I am not well. And for thy humor, I will stay at home. Enter Decius. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so. Decide, Caesar, all hail, good morrow worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house. Keys and you are come in very happy time, to bear my greeting to the senators, and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today, tell them so Decius. Calp say he is sick. Keys shall Caesar send a lie. Ha I in conquest stretched mine arms so far, to be a fear 500, to tell greybeards the truth. Decius, go tell them, Caesar will not come. Decide, most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so. Keys the cause is in my will, I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your preuate satisfaction, because I allow you, I will let you know. Calphurnia here my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight, she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts, 999 run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling, and 999 bathed their hands in it. And these does she apply, for warnings and portents. And Ewell's imminent, and on her knee hath begged 500, that I will stay at home today. Decide, this dream is all amiss interpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bath 500, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck ruining blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, reliques, and cognizance. This by Calphurnia's dream is signified. Keys and this way ha you well expounded it. Decide, I ha when you ha heard what I can say. And know it now, the Senate ha concluded to give you this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word, you will not come. Their minds may change, besides it were a mock, apt to be render 500, for someone to say, break VP the Senate, till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid. Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear Lau. To your proceeding, bids me tell you this. And reason to my Lau is liable. Keys, how foolish do your fears seem now, Calphurnia. I am ashamed I 999 yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Enter Brutus, Ligarius, Metellus, Casca, Trebonius, Cinna, and Publius. And look where Publius is come to fetch me. Pub, good morrow, Caesar. Keys, welcome, Publius. What, Brutus, are you stir 500 so early too? Good morrow, Casca, Caius Ligarius. Caesar was near so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is to clock? Brew, Caesar, tea's struck an 8. Keys, I thank you for your pains and courtesy. Enter Antony. See, Antony that rules long a nights. Is notwithstanding VP, good morrow Antony. Ant, so to most noble Caesar. Keys bid them prepare within. I am too blamed to be thus waited for. Now Cinna, now Metellus, what Trebonius? I ha an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me, that I may remember you. Treb, Caesar I will, and so near will I be, that your best friends shall wish I had been further. Keys, good friends, go in, and taste some wine with me. And we, like friends, will straightway go together. Brew, that Uri like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus earns to think vipon. Exeunt. Enter Artemidorus. Caesar, beware of Brutus, take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca, ha an eye to Cinna, trust not Trebonius, mark well Metellus Cimber, Decius Brutus louse thee not. Thou hast wrong 500 Caius Ligarius. There's but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou be'st not immortal, look about you, security Jeus way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lower Artemidorus, here will I stand, till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I jew him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot lee you out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest lee you, if not the fates with traitors do contra you. Enter. Enter Portia and Lucius. Poor, I prithee boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why doest thou stay? Luke, to know my errand, madam. Poor, I would ha had thee there and here agin. Ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. O Constancy, be strong vipon my side. Set a huge mountain, tween my heart and tongue. I ha a man's mind, but a woman's might. How hard it is for women to keep counsel. Art thou here yet? Luke, madam, what should I do? Run to the Capitol, and nothing else. And so return to you, and nothing else. Poor, yes, bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well. For he went sickly forth, and take good note. What Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark, boy, what noise is that? Luke, I hear none, madam. Poor, prithee listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray. And the wind brings it from the Capitol. Luke, sooth, madam, I hear nothing. Enter the soothsayer. Poor, come hither, fellow, which way hast thou been? Sooth, at mine own house, good lady. Poor, what is to clock? Sooth, about the 9th hour, lady. Poor, is Caesar yet gone to the Capitol? Sooth, madam, not yet, I go to take my stand. To see him pass on to the Capitol. Poor, thou hast some sweet to Caesar, hast thou not? Sooth, that I ha, lady, if it will please Caesar. To be so good to Caesar, as to hear me. I shall beseech him to befriend himself. Poor, why knowst thou any harms intended towards him? Sooth, none that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you, here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels. Of senators, of praetors, common suitors. Will crowd a feeble man, almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void, and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along. Exit. Poor, I must go in. I me, how weak a thing. The heart of woman is, O Brutus. The hounds speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure the boy heard me, Brutus hath a sweet. That Caesar will not grant, oh I grow faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry, come to me again. And bring me word what he doth say to thee. Exeunt. Actus tertius. Flourish. Enter Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus, Trebonius. Cinna. Antony, Lepidus, Artemidorus, Publius, and the soothsayer. Keys, the Ides of March are come. Sooth, I Caesar, but not gone. Art, hail Caesar, read this sigil. Decide, Trebonius doth desire you to o'erread. At your best leisure, this his humble suite. Art, O Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a sweet. That touches Caesar nearer, read it, great Caesar. Keys what touches versus ourself, shall be last Seru 500. Art delay not Caesar, read it instantly. Keys what is the fellow mad? Pub Sura Giu place. Cassie, what vrge your petitions in the street? Come to the Capitol. Popple, I wish your enterprise today may through you. Cassie, what enterprise Papilius? Popples fare you well. Brew, what said Papilius Lena? Cassie, he wished today our enterprise might through you. I fear our purpose is discoured. Brew, look how he makes to Caesar, mark him. Cassie, casca be sodden, for we fear preuntion. Brutus, what shall be done, if this be known? Cassius or Caesar newer shall turn backy. For I will slay myself. Brew, Cassius be constant. Papilius Lena speaks not of our purposes. For look he smiles, and Caesar doth not chain. Cassie, Trebonius knows his time, for look you Brutus. He draws Mark Antony out of the way. Decide, where is Metellus Cimber, let him go. And presently profera his suite to Caesar. Brew he is addressed, press near and second him. Sin, Casca, you are the first that rears your hand. Keys are we all ready, what is now amiss? That Caesar and his senate must redress. Metal, most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar. Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat. An humble heart. Keys I must preunt thee Cimber. These couchings, and these lowly courtesies, might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance and first decree into the lane of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood. That will be thaw 500 from the true quality. With that which melteth fools, I mean sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou doest bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause. Will he be satisfied? Metal, is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear, for the repealing of my banished 500 brother? Brew, I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee, that Publius Cimber may ha an immediate freedom of repeal. Keys what Brutus? Cassie, pardon Caesar, Caesar pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber. Keys I could be well move 500, if I were as you. If I could pray to move you, prayers would move you me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with Vien-numbered sparks. They are all fire, and Uri one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, T's furnish 500 well with men. And men are flesh and blood, and apprehends you. Yet in the number, I do know but one. That Venaslible holds on his rank. Vienshak 500 of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, Ewan in this. That I was constant Cimber, should be banished 500. And constant do remain to keep him so. Cinna, O Caesar. Keys hence, wilt thou lift VP Olympus? Decius, great Caesar. Keys doth not Brutus bootless kneel. Cask speak hands for me. They stab Caesar. Keys at two brute, then fall Caesar. Dies. Sin, liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets. Cassie, some to the common pulpits and cry out. Liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement. Brew, people and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand still, ambition's debt is paid. Cask, go to the pulpit, Brutus. Deck and Cassius too. Brew, where's Publius? Sin, here, quite confounded with this mutiny. Met, stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar's should chance. Brew, talk not of standing, Publius good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else, so tell them Publius Cassi, and lo versus Publius, least that the people, rushing on V's, should do your age some mischief. Brew, do so, and let no man abide this deed. But we the doers. Enter Trebonius. Cassi, where is Antony? Treb, fled to his house, amaze 500. Men, weus, and children, stare, cry out, and run, as it were doomsday. Brew, fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die we know, 'tis but the time. And drawing days out, that men stand vipon. Cask, why he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death. Brew, grant that, and then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends, that ha abridge 500. His time of fearing death, stoop Romans, stoop. And let V's bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. VP to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, ewen to the marketplace. Enwoying our red weapons, o'er our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty. Cassi, stoop then and wash, how many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted hour? In state Vien born, and accents yet Vien known. Brew, how many times shall Caesar bleed in sport? That now on Pompey's basis lie along, no worthier than the dust. Cassi, so oft as that shall be, so often shall the knot of V's be called 500. The men that gaw their country liberty. Deck, what shall we forth? Cassi, a Uri man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels. With the most boldest and best hearts of Rome. Enter a Saruant. Brew, soft, who comes here, a friend of Antony's. Sir, thus Brutus 999, my master bid me kneel. Thus 999, Mark Antony bid me fall down. And being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and lowing. Say I low Brutus, and I honor him. Say I fear 500 Caesar, honor 500 him, and lieu 500 him. If Brutus will vouchsafe, that Antony may safely come to him, and be resolute 500. How Caesar hath deserved 500 to lie in death. Mark Antony shall not allow Caesar dead. So well as Brutus liewing, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus. Thorough the hazards of this vientrod state. With all true faith, so says my master Antony. Brew, thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I newer thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come viento this place. He shall be satisfied, and by my honor. Depart vientuch 500. Sir, I'll fetch him presently. Exit Saruant. Brew, I know that we shall ha him well to friend. Cassi, I wish we may, but yet ha I a mind. That fears him much, and my misgeewing still falls shrewdly to the purpose. Enter Antony. Brew, but here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony. Ant, O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood, who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death's hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure, lie you 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar, and by you cut off. The choice and master spirits of this A. Brew, O Antony, beg not your death of V's. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands, in this our present acti. You see we do, yet see you but our hands. And this, the bleeding business they ha done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful. And pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drews out fire, so pity, pity hath done this deed on Caesar, for your part. To you, our swords ha leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, do receive you in. With all kind low, good thoughts and ruerance. Cassie, your voice shall be as strong as any man's. In the disposing of new dignities. Brew, only be patient, till we ha appeas 500. The multitude, beside themselves with fear. And then, we will delire you the cause. Why I, that 999 low Caesar when I struck him. Ha thus proceeded. And, I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. Next Caius Cassius do I take your hand. Now Decius Brutus yours, now yours Metellus. Yours Cinna, and my valiant Casca yours. Though last, not least in Lao, yours good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground, that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. That I 999 Lao the Caesar, O 'tis true. If then thy spirit look, vipon versus now. Shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death? To see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes. Most noble, in the presence of thy corse. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better then to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius, here wast thou bay 500 bra heart. Here 999th thou fall, and here thy hunters stand. Sign 500 in thy spoil, and crimson 500 in thy lethe. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart. And this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer, stroken by many princes, dost thou here lie? Cassie, Mark Antony. And, pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend, it is cold modesty. Cassie, I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to ha with versus? Will you be prick 500 in number of our friends? Or shall we on, and not depend on you? And, therefore I took your hands but was indeed. Sway 500 from the point, by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and allow you all. Vipon this hope, that you shall give me reasons. Why and wherein Caesar was dangerous. Brew, or else were this a sage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard. That were you Antony, the son of Caesar. You should be satisfied. And that's all I seek. And a more were suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace. And in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral. Brew, you shall mark Antony. Cassie, Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do not consent. That Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved 500. By that which he will vt Brews by your pardon. I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest. He speaks by law and by permission. And that we are contented Caesar shall ha all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do versus wrong. Cassie, I know not what may fall, I like it not. Brew, Mark Antony, here take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame versus, but speak all good you can do as of Caesar. And say you do't by our permission. Else shall you not ha any hand at all about his funeral, and you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended. And be it so. I do desire no more. Brew, prepare the body then, and follow V's. Exeunt. Manat Antony. O pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man, that you are lewd in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Our thy wounds, now do I prophesy. which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips, to beg the voice and vt terrence of my tongue. A curse shall light vpon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce sexual strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in VSC, and dreadful obikes so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choke 500 with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, with 8 by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry hawk and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell about the earth, with carrion men, groaning for burial. Enter Octoios Seruant. You Seru Octoius Caesar, do you not? Sir, I do Mark Antony. Ant, Caesar 999, write for him to come to Rome. Sir, he 999 receive you his letters, and is coming. And bid me say to you by word of mouth, O Caesar! Ant, thy heart is big, get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching from mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine. Began to water, is thy master coming? Sir, he lies tonight within sewen leagues of Rome. Ant, post Bacchae with speed, and tell him what hath chank 500. Here is a morning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octoius yet. Hie hence and tell him so, yet stay a while. Thou shalt not Bacchae, till I ha borne this course. Into the marketplace, there shall I try, in my oration, how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men. According to the which, thou shalt discourse to young Octoius of the state of things. Lend me your hand. Exeunt. Enter Brutus and goes into the pulpit, and Cassius with the plebeians. Plea, we will be satisfied, let these be satisfied. Bru, then follow me, and give me audience friends. Cassius, go you into the other street, and part the numbers. Those that will hear me speak, let 'em stay here. Those that will follow Cassius, go with him. And public reasons shall be rendered of Caesar's death. One plea, I will hear Brutus speak. Bru, be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen and lowers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe you me for mine honor, and ha respect to mine honor, that you may believe you. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' law to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand, why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I lieu 500 Caesar less, but that I lieu 500 Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were lieuing and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to lieu all free men? As Caesar lieu 500 me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his lowe, aye, for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak for him how I offended, who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak for him how I offended, who is here so vile that will not allow his country? If any speak for him how I offended, I pause for a reply. All, none Brutus, none. Brutus, then none ha I offended. I ha done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is in roll 500 in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses in fork 500, for which he suffered death. Enter Mark Antony with Caesar's body. Here comes his body, mourn 500 by Mark Antony, who though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lower for the good of Rome, I ha the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. All, liu Brutus, liu, shall be crowned 500 in Brutus, with shouts and clamors. Bru, my countrymen. Bru, good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allow 500 to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart. Saw I alone, till Antony ha spoke. Exit. 1 Stay ho, and let verses hear Mark Antony. 3 Let him go VP into the public chair, we 50 hear him, noble Antony go VP. And, for Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you. 4 What does he say of Brutus? 3 He says, for Brutus' sake. He finds himself beholding to verses, a twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here. 1 This Caesar was a tyrant. 3 Nay that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of peace, let verses hear what Antony can say. Ant, you gentle Romans. All peace ho, let verses hear him. And friends Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The Yule that men do, leaves after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar, the noble Brutus. Hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answer 500 it. Here viender lo of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and eos to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms, 999 the general coffers fill. 999, this in Caesar seem ambitious. When that the poor ha cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all 999 see, that on the Lupercal, I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he 999 thrice refuse, was this ambition. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove you what Brutus spoke. But here I am, to speak what I do know. You all 999 allow him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then, to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts. And men ha lost their reason, bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar. And I must pause, till it come backy to me. 1 Methinks there is much reason in his sayings. 2 If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong. 3 Has he masters, I fear there will a worse come in his place. And, but yesterday the word of Caesar might. Ha stood against the world, now lies he there. And none so poor to do him ruerance. O maesters, if I were dispose 500 to stirra your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, whose you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong, I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you. Then I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment, with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him for memory. And dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy. Vientio their issue. For we 50 hear the will, read it Mark Antony. All, the will, we will hear Caesar's. And, ha patience gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar slew 500 you. You are not wood, you are not stones but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh what would come of it? 4 Read the will, we 50 hear it Antony. You shall read versus the will, Caesar's will. And will you be patient, will you stay a while? I ha reshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men, whose daggers ha stab 500 Caesar, I do fear it. For they were traitors, honorable men. All the will the testament. 2 They were villains, murderers. The will read they. Will. Aunt, you will compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar. And let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you gew me low? All come down. 2 Descend you shall ha low. 4 Ring, stand round, stand from the hearse, stand from the body. 2 Room for Antony, most noble Antony. Aunt, nay press not so vpon me, stand far off. All stand backy, room bear backy. Aunt, if you ha tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle, I remember. The first time your Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he o'ercame the narrowage. Look, in this place ran Cassius dagger through. See what a rent the Aeneas Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed 500. And as he plucked 500 his cursed steel away. Mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. As rushing out of doors, to be resolute 500. If Brutus so vieng kindly knock 500, or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Eoj, O you gods, how dearly Caesar slew 500 him. This was the most vieng kindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquish 500 him, then burst his mighty heart. And in his mantle, muffling his face, Ewan at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you, and all of these fell down. Whilst bloody treason flourish 500 hour V's. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity, these are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, mar 500 as you see with traitors. About seek, burn, fire, kill, slay. Let not a traitor lee you. And stay countrymen. And, good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir a UVP. To such a sodden flood of mutiny. They that ha done this deed are honorable. What preuate griefs they ha, alas I know not. That made them do it, they are wise and honorable. And will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain blunt man. That low my friend, and that they know full well. That gaw me public low to speak of him. For I ha neither writ nor words, nor worth, action nor terrence, nor the power of speech. To stir a men's blood, I only speak right on. I tell you that, which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths. And bid them speak for me, but were I Brutus. And Brutus Antony, there were an Antony. Would ruffle your spirits, and put a tongue in Uri wound of Caesar, that should moo the stones of Rome, to rise and mutiny. All we 50 mutiny. 1 we 50 burn the house of Brutus. 3 away then, come seek the conspirators. And, yet hear me countrymen, yet hear me speak. All peace ho, hear Antony, most noble Antony. And, why friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved 500 your lows? Alas you know not, I must tell you then. You ha forgot the will I told you of. All, most true the will, let's stay and hear the will. And, here is the will, and viender Caesar's seal. To Uri, Roman citizen he geus. To Uri sur all man, suinti few drachmes. To plea, most noble Caesar, we 50 ruinge his death. 3 plea, O royal Caesar. And, hear me with patience. All peace ho. And, moreover he hath left you all his walks. His preuate arbors, and new planted orchards. On this side Tiber, he hath left them you. And to your hayers for your common pleasures. To walk abroad, and recreate your cellus. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another. One please newer, come away. We 50 burn his body in the holy place. And with the brands, fire the traitors' houses. Take VP the body. 2 plea, go fetch fire. 3 plea, pluck down benches. 4 plea, pluck down forms, windows, anything. Exit plebeians. And now let it work, mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow? Enter Saruant. Sir Octoius is already come to Rome. And where is he? Sir, he and Lepidus are at Caesar's house. And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes vipon a wish, fortune is merry. And in this mood will you versus anything. Sir, I heard him say, Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome. And, belike they had some notice of the people. How I had moved them, bring me to Octoius. Exeunt. Enter Cinna the poet, and after him the plebeians. Cinna, I dreamt tonight, that I 999 feast with Caesar. And things vien luckily charge my fantasy. I ha no will to wander forth of doors. Yet something leads me forth. Sin, what is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer you, man, directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely I say, I am a bachelor. 2 That's as much as to say, they are fools that marry. You 50 bear me a bang for that I fear. Proceed directly. Cinna, directly I am going to Caesar's funera as a friend, or an enemy. Cinna, as a friend that matter is answered directly. Cinna, briefly, I dwell by the Capito your name sir, truly. Cinna, truly my name is Cinna. Cinna, I am Cinna the poet, I am Cinna the poet. Sin, I am not Cinna the conspirator. Exeunt, all the plebeians. Actus quartus. Enter Antony, Octoius and Lepidus. Ant, these many then shall die, their names are pricked. Octa, your brother too must die, consent you Lepidus. Lep, I do consent. Octa, prick him down Antony. Lep, vipon condition Publius shall not liu. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony? Ant, he shall not liu, look, with a spot I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies. Lep, what shall I find you here? Octa, or here or at the Capitol. Exit Lepidus. Ant, this is a slight vien meritable man. Meet to be sent on errands, is it fit? The threefold world divided, he should stand. One of the 3 to share it. Octa, so you thought him. And took his voice, who should be pricked to die. In our blacky sentence and proscription. Ant, Octoius, I ha seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man, to ease ourselves of Dewar's slanderous loads, he shall but bear them, as the assay bears gold. To groan and sweat, viender the business. Either lead or driuan, as we point the way. And hoing brought our treasure, where we will. Then take we down his load, and turn him off. Like to the empty assay, to shake his ears. And graze in commons. Octa, you may do your will. But he's a tried, and valiant soldier. And so is my horse Octoius, and for that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight. To win, to stop, to run directly on. His corporal motion, govern 500 by my spirit. And in some taste, is Lepidus but so. He must be taught, and train 500 and bid go forth. A barren-spirited fellow, one that feeds on obex, arts and imitations, which out of VSC, and styled by other men, begin his fashion, do not talk of him, but as a property, and now Octoius. Listen great things, Brutus and Cassius. Our louing powers, we must straight make head. Therefore let our alliance be combined 500. Our best friends made, our means stretched. And let these presently go sit in council. How coward matters, may be best disclose 500. And open perils surest answered. Octa, let these do so, for we are at the stake. And bait about with many enemies. and some that smile ha in their hearts I fear. Millions of mischiefs. Exeunt. Drum, enter Brutus, Lucilius and the army. Titinius and Pindarus meet them. Bru stand ho. Lucil, you the word ho and stand. Bru, what now Lucilius, is Cassius near? Lucil, he is at hand and Pindarus is come to do you salutation from his master. Bru, he greets me well, your master Pindarus. In his own change, or by 99 officers. Hath given me some worthy cause to wish. Things done vien don, but if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied. Pin I do not doubt, but that my noble master will appear, such as he is, full of regard and honor. Bru he is not doubted, a word Lucilius. How he receive 500 you, let me be resolute 500. Lucil, with courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference, as he hath viz 500 of old. Bru, thou hast described 500. A hot friend, cooling, you are note Lucilius. When Lao begins to sicken and decay, it viseth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks, in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show, and promise of their mettle. Low march within. But when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests, and like deceitful Iades, sink in the trial, comes his army on. Lucil, they mean this night in Sardis to be quarter 500. The greater part, the horse in general, are come with Cassius. Enter Cassius and his powers. Bru, hark, he is a rew 500. March gently on to meet him. Cassi, stand ho. Bru, stand ho, speak the word along. Stand. 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 Cassi, most noble brother, you ha done me wrong. Bru, eage me you gods, wrong I mine enemies. And if not so, how should I wrong a brother? Cassi, Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs. And when you do them's, Brute, Cassius, be content. Speak your griefs softly, I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should pursue you nothing but low from V's. Let V's not wrangle, bid them moo away. Then in my tent Cassius enlarge your griefs, and I will you audience. Cassi, Pindarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground. Bru, Lucilius, do you the like and let no man come to our tent till we ha done our conference. Let Lucius and Titinius guard our door. Exeunt. Manet Brutus and Cassius. Cassi, that you ha wrong 500 me doth appear in this. You ha condemn 500, and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians. Wherein my letters, praying on his side, because I knew the man was slighted off. Bru, you wrong 500 yourself to write in such a case. Cassi, in such a time as this, it is not meet that you nice offense should bear his comment. Bru, let me tell you Cassius, you yourself are much condemned 500 to ha an itching palmy, to sell and mart your offices for gold, to vien desertors. Cassi, I an itching palmy. You know that you are Brutus that speaks this. Or by the gods, this speech were else your last. Bru, the name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head. Cassi, chastisement. Bru, remember March, the Ides of March remember. 999, not great Julius bleed for Eustis' sake. What villain touch 500 his body, that 999 stab? And not for Eustis, what shall one of these? That struck the foremost man of all this world. But for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes, and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman. Cassi, Brutus, bait not me. I'll not endure it, you forget yourself. To hedge me in, I am a soldier I. Older in practice, abler than yourself. To make conditions. Brew go to, you are not Cassius. Cassie, I am. Brew, I say you are not. Cassie, vrge me no more, I shall forget myself. Ha mind vipon your health, tempt me no farther. Brew away slight man. Cassie, is't possible. Brew, hear me, for I will speak. Must I gee away, and room to your rash collar? Shall I be frighted, when a madman stares? Cassie, O ye gods, must I endure all this? Brew, all this, I more, fret till your proud heart break. Go show your slaws how choleric you are. And make your bondmen tremble, must I bouch? Must I observe you, must I stand and crouch? Ve endure your testy humor, by the gods. You shall digest the venom of your spleen. Though it do split you, for from this day forth, I'll via see you for my mirth, yea for my laughter. When you are waspish. Cassie, is it come to this? Brew, you say, you are a better soldier. Let it appear so, make your vaunting true. And it shall please me well, for mine own part. I shall be glad to learn of noble men. Cass, you wrong me Uri way. You wrong me Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Chapter 999, I say better. Brew, if you 999, I care not. Cass, when Caesar liu 500, he durst not thus ha move 500 me. Brute, peace, you durst not so ha tempted him. Cassie, I durst not. Brews, no. Cassie, what, durst not tempt him? Brew, for your life you durst not. Cassie, do not presume too much vipon my low. I may do that I shall be sorry for. Brew, you ha done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed 500 so strong in honesty, that they pass by me, as the idle wind. Which I respect not, I 999 send to you. For certain sums of gold, which you deny 500 me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By Hohen, I had rather coin my heart, and drop my blood for drachmes, than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash. By any indirection, I 999 send to you for gold to pay my legions. Which you deny 500 me, was that done like Cassius? Should I ha answer 500 Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous, to lock such rascal counters from his friends. Be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts. Dash him to pieces. Cassie, I deny 500 you not. Brew, you 999. Cassie, I 999 not, he was but a fool. That brought my answer back. Brutus hath reu 500 my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities. But Brutus makes mine greater than they are. Brew, I do not, till you practice them on me. Cassie, you allow me not. Brew, I do not like your faults. Cassie, a friendly eye could newer see such faults. Brew, a flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus. Cassie, come Antony and young Octoius come. Ruined your cellus alone on Cassius. For Cassius is a weary of the world. Hated by one he lows, brow 500 by his brother. Check 500 like a bondman, all his faults observe 500. Set in a notebook, learn 500 and con 500 by rote. To cast into my teeth, oh I could weep. My spirit from mine eyes, there is my dagger. And here my naked breast, within a heart. Dearer than Pluto's mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest ye a Roman, take it forth. I that deny 500 the gold, will gee you my heart. Strike as thou 999th at Caesar, for I know. When thou 999th hate him worst, why lowedst him better? Then thou lowedst Cassius. Brew, sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall ha scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor. O Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb. that carries anger, as the flint bears fire. Who much enforced, shows a hasty spark. And straight is cold agen. Cassi hath Cassius lieu 500. To be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus. When grief and blood, 99 temper 500, vexeth him. Bru, when I spoke that, I was 99 temper 500 too. Cassi, do you confess so much? Give me your hand. Bru, and my heart too. Cassi, O Brutus. Bru, what's the matter? Cassi, ha not you low enough to bear with me? When that rash humor which my mother gaw me makes me forgetful. Bru, yes Cassius, and from henceforth, when you are our earnest with your Brutus, he 50 think your mother chides, and lo you so. Enter a poet. Poet, let me go in to see the generals. There is some grudge between 'em, 'tis not meet. They be alone. Lucille, you shall not come to them. Poet, nothing but death shall stay me. Cass, how now, what's the matter? Poet, for shame you generals, what do you mean? Low and be friends, as two such men should be. For I ha seen more years I me sure than ye. Cass, how vildily doth this cynic rhyme. Bru, get you hence, sirrah, saucy fellow, hence. Cass, bear with him Brutus, tease his fashion. Brute, I'll know his humor when he knows his time. What should the wars do with these egging fools? Companion, hence. Cass, away be gone. Exit poet. Bru, Lucilius and Titinius bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight. Cass, and come yourselves and bring Messala with you. Immediately to V's. Bru, Lucius, a bowl of wine. Cass, I 999, not think you could ha been so angry. Bru, O Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. Cass, of your philosophy you make no VSC. If you you place to accidental Yules. Bru, no man bears sorrow better, Portia is dead. Cass, Portia. Bru, she is dead. Cass, how scap 500 I killing when I crossed you so. Oh insupportable and touching loss. Vipon, what sickness. Bru, impatient of my absence. And grief, that young Octavius with Mark Antony. Ha made themselves so strong, for with her death. That tidings came, with this she fell distract. And her attendants absent, swallow 500 fire. Cass, and die 500 so. Bru, you and so. Cass, O ye immortal gods. Enter boy with wine and tapers. Bru, speak no more of her, you me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all vieng kindness Cassius. Drinks. Cass, my heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill Lucius, till the wine o'erswell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus Lau. Enter Titinius and Messala. Brutus, come in Titinius. Welcome good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here. And call in question our necessities. Cass, Portia, art thou gone? Bru, no more I pray you. Messala, I ha here received letters. That young Octavius and Mark Antony come down Vipon versus with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi. Mess, myself ha letters of the self-same tenure. Bru, with what addition? Mess, that by proscription and bills of outlary. Octavius, Antony and Lepidus ha put to death and 100 senators. Bru, therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by their proscriptions, Cicero being one. Cassi, Cicero one. Messa, Cicero is dead, and by that order of proscription. Had ye your letters from your wife, my lord? Bru, no Messala. Messa, nor nothing in your letters rid of her. Bru, nothing Messala. Messa, that methinks is strange. Bru, why ask you? Hear you aught of her in yours? Messa, no my lord. Bru, now as you're a Roman tell me true. Messa, then like a Roman bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner. Bru, why farewell Portia, we must die Messala. With meditating that she must die once. I ha the patience to endure it now. Messa, you and so great men, great losses should endure. Cassie, I ha as much of this in art as you. But yet my nature could not bear it so. Brew well to our work Aliu, what do you think? Of marching to Philippi presently. Cassie, I do not think it good. Brew your reason. Cassie, this it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek vies. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers. Doing himself offence, whilst we lying still are full of rest, defence and nimbleness. Brew, good reasons must have forced you place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a fork 500 affection. For they ha grug 500 v's contribution. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number VP. Come on refreshed, new added, and incurreg 500. From which advantage shall we cut him off? If at Philippi we do face him there. These people at our backy. Cassie, hear me good brother. Brew v under your pardon, you must note beside that we ha tried the VT most of our friends. Our legions are brim full, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or loose our ventures. Cassie, then with your will go on, we 50 along our cellos, and meet them at Philippi. Brew, the deep of night is crept vpon our talk, and nature must obey necessity, which we will niggard with a little rest. There is no more to say. Cassie, no more good night. Early tomorrow will we rise, and hence enter Lucius. Brew, Lucius my gown, farewell good Messala. Good night Titinius, noble Cassius. Good night and good repose. Cassie, oh my dear brother. This was in 99 beginning of the night. Newer come such division, tween our souls. Let it not Brutus. Enter Lucius with the gown. Brew, everything is well. Cassie, good night my lord. Brew, good night good brother. Tit Messa, good night Lord Brutus. Brew, farewell everyone. Exeunt. Giu me the gown, where is thy instrument? Luke here in the tent. Brew, what thou speak'st drowsily. Purno I blame thee not, thou art o'erwatched. Call Claudio, and some other of my men. I'll ha them sleep on cushions in my tent. Luke, Varus, and Claudio. Enter Varus and Claudio. Var cals my lord. Brew, I pray you sirs, lie in my tent and sleep. It may be I shall raise you by and by. On business to my brother Cassius. Var, so please you we will stand. And watch your pleasure. Brew, I will it not ha it so, lie down good sirs. It may be, I shall otherwise bethink me. Look Lucius, here's the book I sought for so. I put it in the pocket of my gown. Luke, I was sure your lordship 999, not Geo at me. Brew, bear with me good boy, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold VP thy hoey eyes a while? And touch thy instrument a strain or two? Luke, I my lord, an't please you. Brew, it does my boy. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing. Luke, it is my duty, sir. Brute, I should not vrge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest. Luke, I ha slept my lord already. Brew, it was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not hold thee long, if I do liu. I will be good to thee. Music and a song. This is a sleepy tune, O murderous slumber. Layest thou thy leaden mace vpon my boy. That plays thee music, gentle na good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. If thou dost nod, thou break'st thy instrument. I'll take it from thee, and good boy good night. Let me see, is not the leaf turned 500 down? Where I left reading, here it is I think. Enter the ghost of Caesar. How 99 this taper burns, ha, who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes vpon me, art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel or some deil? That maxed my blood cold, and my hair to stare. Speak to me what thou art. Ghost, thy Yule spirit Brutus. Bru, why com'st thou? Ghost, to tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi. Brute, well, then I shall see thee again. Ghost, I at Philippi. Brute, why I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I ha taken heart, thou vanishest. Chapter 99. Spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Boy Lucius Varus Claudio sirs, awake. Claudio. Luke, the strings my lord are false. Bru, he thinks he still is at his instrument. Lucius, awake. Luke, my lord. Bru, 999th thou dream Lucius, that thou so criedst. Out. Luke, my lord, I do not know that I 999 cry. Bru, yes that thou 999th, 999th thou see anything. Luke, nothing my lord. Bru, sleep again Lucius, Sirrah Claudio fellow. Thou awake. Vars my lord. Clow my lord. Bru, why 999 you so cry out sirs, in your sleep? Both, 999 we my lord. Bru, I saw you anything? Var, no my lord I saw nothing. Clow, nor I my lord. Bru, go, and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before. And we will follow. Both, it shall be done my lord. Exeunt. Actus Quintus. Enter Octavius, Antony and their army. Octa, now Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and VP per regions. It prows not so, their battles are at hand. They mean to warn V's at Philippi here. Answering before we do demand of them. Ant tut I am in their bosoms, and I know. Wherefore they do it, they could be content to visit other places and come down. With fearful browery, thinking by this face, to fasten in our thoughts that they ha courage. But 'tis not so. Enter a messenger. Mies, prepare you generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody scene of battle is hung out. And something to be done immediately. Ant Octavius, lead your battle softly on. Vpon the left hand of the Ewan field. Octa, vpon the right hand I keep thou the left. Ant, why do you cross me in this exigent? Octa, I do not cross you, but I will do so. March. Drum, enter Brutus, Cassius and their army. Bru, they stand and would ha parley. Cassie, stand fast Titinius, we must out and talk. Octa, Mark Antony, shall we do you scene of battle? Ant, no Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Make forth, the generals would ha some words. Oct, stir not vien till the signal. Bru, words before blows, is it so countrymen? Octa, not that we allow words better as you do. Bru, good words are better than bad strokes Octavius. And in your bad strokes Brutus, you do good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart. Crying long liu, hail Caesar. Cassie, Antony. The posture of your blows are yet vien known. But for your words, they rob the hibla bees. And lo them honey less. And not stingless too. Bru, oh yes, and soundless too. For you ha stalny their buzzing Antony. And very wisely threat before you sting. Ant, villains, you 999 not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You show 500 your teeths like apes. And fawn 500 like hounds. And bow 500 like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet. Whilst damned Casca like a cur behind. Struck Caesar on the neck, O you flatterers! Cassi, flatterers, now Brutus thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today. If Cassius might ha roll 500. Octa, come the cause, if arguing make verses sweat. The proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes VP agon? Newer till Caesar's 3 and 30 wounds. Be well owing 500, or till another Caesar. Ha added slaughter to the sword of traitors. Brute, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands. Vien less thou bringst to them with thee. Octa, so I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword. Bru, oh if thou wert the noblest of thy strain. Young man, thou couldst not die more honorable. Cassi, a peewish schoolboy, worthals of such honor. E'en 500 with a masker, and a ruler. And old Cassius still. Octa, come Antony, away. Defiance traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you ha Stomachus. Exit Octavius, Antony and army. Cassi, why now blow wind, swell billow. And swim bark. The storm is VP, and all is on the hazard. Bru, ho Lucilius, hark, a word with you. Lucilius and Messala stand forth. Luke, my lord. Cassi, Messala. Messa, what says my general? Cassi, Messala, this is my birthday, at this very day. Was Cassius born, give me thy hand Messala. Be thou my witness, that against my as Pompey was, am I compel 500 to set. Vipon one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong. And his opinion, now I change my mind. And partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, on our former scene. 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they pierched 500. Gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. Who to Philippi here consorted versus. This morning are they fled away, and gone. And in their steeds, do rawns, crows, and kites. Fly o'er our heads, and downward look on versus. As we were sickly prey, their shadows seem. A canopy most fatal viender which. Our army lies, ready to GUVP the ghost. Messa, believe you not so. Cassi, I but believe you it partly. For I am fresh of spirit, and resolute 500. To meet all perils, very constantly. Bru, you and so Lucilius. Cassi, now most noble Brutus. The gods today stand friendly, that we may. Lowers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do? Bru, Ewan by the rule of that philosophy. By which I 999 blame Cato, for the death. Which he 999 Jew himself, I know not how. But I do find it cowardly, and vile. For fear of what might fall, so to preuent. The time of life, arming myself with patience. To stay the prudence of some high powers. That Gowan versus below. Cassi, then if we lose this battle. You are contented to be led in triumph. Thorough the streets of Rome. Bru, no Cassius no. Think not thou noble Roman. That you or Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind, but this same day. Must end that work, the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore our everlasting farewell take. For youer and for youer farewell Cassius. If we do meet again, why we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made. Cassi, for youer and for youer farewell Brutus. If we do meet again, we 50 smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made. Bru, why then lead on, oh that a man might. The end of this day's business, ere it come. But it sufficeth, that the day will end. And then the end is known, come ho away. Exeunt. Alarum, enter Brutus and Messala. Ride Masala, ride and Giu these bills. VNTO the legions, on the other side. Load alarum. Let them set on at once, for I pursue you. But cold demeanor in Octoyo's wing. And Sodin push Gius them the hour throw. Ride Masala, let them all come down. Exeunt. Alarums, enter Cassius and Titinius. Cassie, oh look Titinius look, the villains fly. Myself ha to mine own turn, 500 enemy. This end scene here of mine was turning backy. I slew the coward, and 999 take it from him. Titan, O Cassius, Brutus got the word too early. Who hoing some advantage on Octoius. Took it too eagerly, his soldiers fell to spoil. Whilst we by Antony are all enclosed. Enter Pindarus. Pinned, fly further off my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents my lord. Fly therefore noble Cassius, fly far off. Cassie, this hill is far enough, look Titinius. Are those my tents where I pursue the fire? Tit, they are my lord. Cassie, Titinius, if thou allowest me. Mount thou my horse, and hide thy spurs in him. Till he ha brought thee VP to yonder troops. And here again, that I may rest ashore 500. Whether yon troops are friend or enemy. Tit, I will be here again, Ewan with a thought. Enter. Cassie, go Pindarus, get higher on that hill. My sight was your thick, regard Titinius. And tell me what thou not stee about the field. This day I breathed first, time is come round. And where I 999 begin, there shall I end. My life is run his compass, Sirrah what news? Pinned abow, O my lord. Cassie, what news? Pinned, Titinius is enclosed round about. With horsemen, that make to him on the spur. Yet he spurs on, now they are almost on him. Now Titinius, now some light, oh he lights too. He's ta'en. Shout. And hark, they shout for aye. Cassie, come down, behold no more. O coward that I am, to leave you so long. To see my best friend ta'en before my face. Enter Pindarus. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia 999 I take thee prisoner. And then I swore thee, sawing of thy life, that whatsoe'er I 999 bid thee do, thou shouldst ye attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer, here take thou the hilts. And when my face is cower 500, as tease now, guide thou the sword Caesar, thou art ruing 500. Ewan with the sword that kill 500 thee. Pin so I am free. Yet would not so ha been. Durst I had in my will, O Cassius. Far from this country Pindarus shall run, where newer Roman shall take note of him. Enter Titinius and Messala. Messa it is but changed Titinius, for Octoius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony. Titan, these tidings will well comfort Cassius. Messa, where 999 you low him. Titan, all disconsolate. With Pindarus his bondman on this hill. Messa, is not that he that lies upon the ground. Titan, he lies not like the lewing, O my heart. Messa, is not that he. Titan, no this was he Messala. But Cassius is no more, O setting sun. As in thy red rays thou doest sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set, our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed. Messa, mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child. Why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not, O error soon consiu 500. Thou nor comsti vientio a happy byeth, but kill'st the mother that engendered thee. Tit, what Pindarus, where art thou Pindarus? Messa, seek him Titinius whilst I go to meet. The noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears, I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts inunimed, shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight. Tit hiu Messala. And I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why 999th, thou send me forth Cassius. Chapter 999. I not meet thy friends, and 999 not they. Put on my brows this wreath of victory, and bid me jew at thee, 999th thou not hear their shouts. Alas, thou hast misconstrued ewery thing. But hold thee, take this garland on thy brow. Thy Brutus bid me jew at thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace, and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your low gods, this is a Roman's part. Come Cassius' sword, and find Titinius' heart. Dies. Alarum, enter Brutus, Messala, young Cato, Strato, Volumnius, and Lucilius. Bru, where Messala doth his body lie. Messa, low yonder, and Titinius mourning it. Bru, Titinius' face is VP Ward. Cato, he is slain. Bru, O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad, and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Lo alarums. Cato, bra Titinius. Look where ye ha not crown 500 dead Cassius. Bru, are yet 2 Romans leoing such as these. The last of all the Romans, fare thee well. It is impossible that you or Rome should breed thy fellow, friends I owe mo tears. To this dead man, then you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius, I shall find time. Come therefore, and to Tharsus send his body. His funerals shall not be in our camp. Lest it discomfort versus Lucilius come. And come young Cato, let versus to the field. Labio and Floyo set our battles on. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We shall try fortune in a second fight. Exeunt. Alarum, enter Brutus, Messala, Cato, Lucilius, and Floius. Bru, yet countrymen, O yet hold VP your heads. Cato, what bastard doth not, who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato, ho! A foe to tyrants, and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato, ho! Enter soldiers and fight. And I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus, I. Brutus my country's friend, know me for Brutus. Luke, O young and noble Cato, art thou down? Why now thou diest, as brawly as Titinius? And mayst he be honor 500, being Cato's son. Sold, yield, or thou diest. Luke, onely I yield to die. There is so much, that thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus, and be honor 500 in his death. Sold we must not, a noble prisoner. Enter Antony. 2 sold, room ho, tell Antony Brutus is ta'en. 1 sold, I'll tell thee news, here comes the general. Brutus is ta'en, my lord. Ant, where is he? Luke, safe Antony, Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee, that no enemy shall your take aliu the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or aliu or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself. Ant, this is not Brutus' friend, but I assure you, a prize no less in worth, keep this man safe. Gu him all kindness, I had rather ha. Such men my friends than enemies, go on. And see where Brutus be aliu or dead. And bring V's word, Vientio octoius tent. How ewery thing is chanked. Exeunt. Enter Brutus, Dardanius, Clitus, Strato, and Volumnius. Brute, come poor remains of friends, rest on this rock. Clit, Statilius show 500 the torchlight, but my lord. He came not baccy, he is or ta'en or slain. Brute, sit thee down, Clitus, slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion, hark thee, Clitus. Clit, what I my lord, no not for all the world. Brute, peace then no words. Clit, I'll rather kill myself. Brute, hark thee, Dardanius. Dard, shall I do such a deed? Clit, O Dardanius. Dard, O Clitus. Clit, what 99 request 999 Brutus make to thee? Dard, to kill him, Clitus, look he meditates. Clit, now is that noble vessel full of grief, that it runs our ewan at his eyes. Brute, come hither, good Volumnius, list a word. Volum, what says my lord? Brute, why this, Volumnius? The ghost of Caesar hath appear 500 to me. 2 sure all times by night, at Sardis once, and this last night, here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come. Volum, not so my lord. Brute, nay I am sure it is, Volumnius. Thou seest the world, Volumnius, how it goes. Our enemies ha beat vies to the pit. Lo alarums. It is more worthy to leap in our cellus than tarry till they push versus good Volumnius. Thou know'st he, that we two went to school together. Ewan for that our low of old, I perceive. Hold thou my sword hilts, whilst I run on it. Vol, that's not an office for a friend, my lord. Alarum still. Fly, my lord, there is no tarrying here. Brew, farewell to you, and Volumnius. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep. Farewell to thee, to Strato, countrymen. My heart doth eyes, that yet in all my life I found no man, but he was true to me. I shall ha glory by this loosing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony. By this vile conquest shall attain VNTO. So fare you well at once, for Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his Leus history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, my bones would rest. That ha but labor 500, to attain this hour. Alarum, cry within, fly. Fly, my lord, fly. Brew, hence, I will follow. I prithee, Strato, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face. While I do run upon it, wilt thou, Strato? Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord. Brew, farewell, good Strato. Caesar, now be still. I kill 500, not thee with half so good a will. Dies. Alarum, retreat. Enter Antony, Octavius, Messala, Lucilius, and the armies. Octa, what man is that? Messa, my master's man. Strato, where is thy master? Stra, free from the bondage you are in Messala. The conquerors can but make a fire of him. For Brutus only hour came himself, and no man else hath honor by his death. Lucil, so Brutus should be found, I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved 500 Lucilius saying true. Octa, all that Seru 500 Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me? Stra, I if Messala will prefer me to you. Octa, do so, good Messala. Messa, how died my master Strato? Stra, I held the sword, and he 999 run on it. Messa, Octavius, then take him to follow thee. That 999, the latest Seruus to my master. Ant, this was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators saw only he. 999 that they 999, in an eye of great Caesar. He, only in a general honest thought, and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him, that nature might stand VP, and say to all the world, this was a man. Octa, according to his virtue, let versus VSE him. With all respect, and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie. Most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day. Exeunt omnes. Finis.